So, academic recycling company. In this question, we are going to, practice. Uh, there is a change that had happened from one management style to another, one leadership style to another. We'll have to see how it had happened, how it had affected this company and all. So we'll go through the requirement first. As usual, we're not going to begin with reading the case study, but we'll have to look at the requirement first. So you're required to, so first they're saying you work as a member of the 100-day review team at SCAT. Okay, so there is this company and they're doing some review. It's a 100-day review and you are one of the member. Prepare a brief report for the SCAT HR director. Okay, so I'll have to come up with a report. And in this report, I know what is going to be the format to from date, subject, 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 and then introduction. And then comes the body of the report. Okay, I'll be preparing a report for the SCAT HR director. To whom am I preparing this? SCAT HR director. Okay. Brief. So who am I? You are a member of the 100-day review team. So shall I simply write a member of the 100-day review team? We'll see if at all I was given any other name while reading the case. If at all I were given any other name, I will take that, or else I'll simply say member of the review team. So prepare a brief report for the SCAT HR director to explain why the change of leadership style at ARC. Okay, let me highlight this. Okay. What should be the content of this report? We'll have to explain why the change of leadership style at ARC was unsuccessful and whether this reflects a poor approach of SCAT's management training program. Okay, so in the single requirement, two things are happening. It is differentiated by this word and. Okay, it is differentiated by, it is separated by this word and. So we have to be careful here. We have to talk about these two aspects. First of all, we have to explain why the change of leadership at ARC was unsuccessful. That is one part. And the second part is whether the change, it reflects a poor approach of SCAT's management training program. So let me have my structure. So part A, I'll be talking about explain why the change of leadership style at ARC was unsuccessful. Change in leadership style at ARC. That is part. Okay. Okay. There are no two requirements here. There is only one requirement, right? So I don't even have to come up with A and B. Let me simply have the side headings. That would be fine. If at all requirement says part A, part B, then I'll also have to come up with part A and part B here. But nothing like that has mentioned. Since this is only single question, I'll simply have my side headings. And then second part is, and whether this reflects a poor approach to SCAT's management training program. Okay, I'll simply say SCAT's SCAT's management training program. Okay. All right then. So 14 marks are there. My usual standard division here is 7 marks here, 7 marks here. 14 marks, so 7, 7. At the same time, which professional skill is being tested? Analysis is being tested. So if analysis is being tested, what I'm supposed to do? I have to come up with certain reasons. Some things might have happened. I'll have to come. So they're saying a change is unsuccessful. I have to talk about maybe reasons why it had happened, or maybe what could be the impact. Okay, change why leadership style was unsuccessful. Maybe while this change is happening, how it would have how it had impacted the company. Okay, those things I'll be talking about. Why? Because the professional skill that is being tested here is what? Which professional skill that is being tested here?
Analysis skill.
Oh, all right then. Now that you have the structure, we'll go through the rest of the part. So date, we can simply write the date on the exam day, or you can simply write today. What would be the subject? Management style at ARC. That would be fine. Introduction, anyway, we are going to write at last. Why? Because whatever we have written in the report, in the body, summary kind of a thing, or introduction in the sense few sentences will be writing in the introduction part. So remember, at last we'll have to finish that introduction part. Why I'm taking that to the last is because once we are done with the report, then we better know what we are talking here. So I can simply write 2 or 3 sentences as part of introduction. Okay. Again, it depends. You can follow any approach, but this is just the way I prefer to write it. All right, then we'll begin. So in today, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how we can approach this answer writing in one more different way. Since till now, how we are going to how we approach this is while reading the case study. If at all we thought that what something is relevant here, we were writing some hint words here, right? Hint words we were writing. But today what we are going to do is let's copy paste sentences which are relevant for us, control C and control V, and based on that we will develop our answer. Anything we can follow? Yes, Sakshi.
So for from, we can write as member of 100 days review team.
Member of?
100 days review team.
Yeah, member of review team we can write, but I was just thinking that maybe, I was part of some consulting team. Maybe they would have given some name that would have been mentioned somewhere in the case study, usually at the last. So I thought maybe I can use that part, member of consulting team, something like that. Simply that a member of review team, it doesn't fit well. That's what I feel like.
Okay.
Okay, so as a student, this is how we are going to feel. Okay, I'm assuming I did not go through the case study yet, so I'm skeptical here. Maybe some other name would have been given here for that review team. Maybe I'll use that name over there. Okay. We'll begin now. So, uh, 10 years ago, just a second, we'll use this option. Do we have? Yes, we have this. Okay. 10 years ago, Sully T. How do we spell that? Sully Truin. So let's just simply call him Sully. 10 years ago, Sully draw somethingness. 10 years ago, Sully formed the ARC Academic Recycling Company. What they're going to offer here to offer specialized waste recycling service to schools and colleges. Okay, so maybe they're collecting some waste and providing this recycling service to schools and colleges. The company has been very successful. Okay, has expanded rapidly also. Okay. To cope with this expansion, Sully has implemented a tight administrative process for operating and monitoring contracts. Of contracts from where? Contracts from the schools and colleges. Okay. This administrative procedure is undertaken by the contracts office, okay, who track the collections who track that collections have been made by the fielding recycling teams. Okay, so looks like we are going to see the structure here. So there is Sully and there is this contracts office. People are employed in this contracts office, and there are people who are working on field. Okay, so 3 levels we are saying. Sully has sole responsibility for obtaining and establishing recycling contracts. Okay, looks like this guy is, handsful. He is very busy. But he leaves the day-to-day responsibility for administering and monitoring the contracts to the contracts office. Okay, so he is responsible for getting those contracts, and he leaves the day-to-day responsibilities, maybe what the what they're supposed to do day to day, that he's leaving that to the rest, whom he's leaving this, um, to the contracts office. Okay. He has closely defined what needs to be done for each contract and how this should be monitored. Okay, okay. So he's closely defining what needs to be done for each contract. So even though contracts office is there, he's still even though he has given the responsibility for them to take care of day-to-day operations, but he's still closely monitoring them. Okay. One of the important hints for us now here. Um, yes, he has closely defined what needs to be done for each contract, and also he's monitoring I mean, this should be monitored. So although he is letting them know what to do, but still he is involved. He's very closely involved. Okay. And he's saying that I needed to do this because workers in this country are naturally lazy and lack initiative. So this is his opinion. He believes that workers are naturally lazy and they needs to be monitored, or they needs to be given what instructions. Okay, what was the requirement they're asking us? What could be the change in leadership style at ARC, right? Mm. A report explaining why the change in leadership style at ARC was unsuccessful. Okay, this was the previous leadership style. So he's closely monitoring everything. That was the previous management style. We'll see what happened later. I have found that if you don't tell them exactly what to do and how to do it, then it won't get done properly. Okay, this is what his opinion is. So we'll see. Change in leadership style. Maybe we'll have to talk about before the change and after the change. So let me write this down here. Previously, in the other way of approaching this answer, we would have written something like this. Um, what the name of this person, Sully? So I will say before, right? Sully um, closely uh, monitoring uh, activities. And he's also saying that people are lazy, work unless and until he interferes. They're lazy, they are lacking initiative. So uh, work won't done properly. If at all he doesn't interfere, work won't be done properly. Instead of this, now I'm saying that maybe you can simply copy paste this. He has closely defined what needs to be done. Okay. Wait a sec. Okay. Looks like I will have to erase this. Give me a second. You don't have this issue in the main exam. You can simply copy paste. Since I am letting you know how to do this, it's taking a little bit of time for me. I pondered that. Okay. Control C, Control V. If Control V doesn't work, I'll go for paste. Oh, what happened? I need to tell them form. Okay, no shoot. Control C, Control V. Like I'm not able to copy here. Maybe some issue with the practice platform. All right then. In exam, it won't be the case. You can copy paste whatever that is there in the exhibits. That is still fine. Okay. So let's just continue like this for now. So that is the first thing I would like to talk about there. And then what else? I needed to do this because workers of this country naturally is okay. I've found that if you don't tell them exactly what to do and how to do it, then it won't be good. Okay, most of the employees working in contracts office like and respect Sully for his business success. Okay, that is good because employee morale will be there. Ability to take instant decisions when they refer a problem to him. Okay, okay. So the reason why they're respecting him is because he's kind of the savior there. If at all there is an issue, if they go to him, he will definitely solve that problem. Some of ERC's employees have complained. Okay, some of them have complained about his autocratic style of leadership. Obviously, this is obviously autocratic style of leadership, right? So he's telling them what to do. Autocratic style. Okay, this is autocratic style. But some employees are not happy. Why? Because they have complained because of the autocratic style. But most of these employees have now left the company to work for other organizations. Oh, looks like employees have already left the company because of this autocratic style. They did not like, when this person dictate terms. So I will also mention that before some employees left because of that autocratic style. A few months ago, ARC was acquired by an international company, SCAT. SCAT intended to leave the management of ARC completely in Sully's hands. Okay, this is fine. Why? Because if at all somebody is acquiring somebody else, there is this problem. The culture clash, management differences, management style differences are there. But looks like SCAT are saying that, what, we are going to leave you on your own. Maybe Sully can be, following his own autocratic style. Maybe there won't be any, issues that would arise. But want to integrate its activities into complementary activities carried out by the SCATS group. Okay, okay, that's fine. SCAT group has some activities. They simply want to add the ARC's activities as part of their complementary activities. That is fine. No problem in that. And why? Because they're leaving management for ARC. As part of SCAT's human resource strategy, every manager must attend one of SCAT's internal leadership programs. Okay, okay, this is good. This is good. Why? Because new company, they have acquired this ARC. They should know what kind of management style they're following at ARC. That is fine. That is fine. SCAT's programs actively advocate and promote. PROMOTE. Control Z. And promote a democratic style of management. Oh, now comes the issue. So what is happening here? They're not just simply conducting these programs, but while conducting these programs, they're advocating something. Okay. So they're mentioning that they're kind of imposing one management style. SCAT autocratic style as part of the HR strategy. Okay. SCAT's program actively advocate and promote a democratic style of management. Huh. Attended Sully attended once such course program as part of the conditions for him retaining his managing directorship of ARC. Okay, he has attended, it seems. All right. The course caused Sully to question his previous approach to leadership. It was also the first time for 3 years that Sully had been out of the office during working hours for a prolonged period of time. So this is the first time in 3 years, since he said that he's closely defining the terms and he's closely monitoring them, he has never left the office previously, it seems, for this prolonged period of time. So you guys should be able to understand how dependent the employees are on Sully previously. So maybe I will talk about that SCATS management training program. So in the SCATS management training program, I'll be mentioning this. They're advocating on promoting democratic style. They're not worried about other management style. They're simply promoting democratic style. There looks like they're not bothered about, what about the kind of people, what about the kind or what about the nature of employees. It's not, we can't have democratic style for all kinds of employees, especially in ERC. They got used to getting directions from, Sully. At the same time, this is a successful company. People who did not like this autocratic style, they left the company. Whoever are present in the company, they want things to be dictated. Okay. So this is not going to work here, democratic style. Okay, let's see. At least if they're, telling um, Sully how to come up with this democratic style, we'll see. However, each night while he was attending the course, he had to deal with emails from the contracts office listing problems with contracts and asking him what action they should take. Okay, okay, okay. So even during his attending those classes, what is happening? Still, even the contracts office people are also reliant on him. Okay, they're relying on him. So they're asking for, so what I'll say here is, this is before itself. I'll write that at night. Uh, Contracts office. There are emails from office. There are problems with contracts. Uh, what action to take? They're asking. Okay, they're asking. Who is asking whom? Who is asking whom? What actions to take? Who is asking whom? What actions to take? At night, while this person is Sully guy is attending these courses, the contracts office people are texting him or sending emails saying that we have certain problems, we need your guidance, what to do with that. Okay, he became exasperated, okay, by his employees' inability to take actions to resolve these issues. Okay, okay. So obviously, definitely he will be. Why? Because since beginning, he did not let them take their own decisions. He was closely monitoring. He was interfering while managing them. So obviously, suddenly you leave the company, you attend some training courses. Don't you? You can't expect them to take the decisions or they know on their own. Why? Because since so long, 10 years it has been the company had established, right? So let me write that as well. So 10 years. It has been 10 years. People got used to it, got used to one way of management style or leadership style. Suddenly, you can't expect them to do everything on their own. Maybe that is why, looks like that is why there are going to be management style issues here. He discussed this problem with the leaders at SCAT's training program. Okay, looks like he discussed this. He conveyed this message to the, looks like he conveyed this to the HR team, saying that, you know what, while I'm attending these classes, you guys are saying that democratic style would be beneficial, but looks like my employees are not able to deal on their own. Why? Because what happens in democratic style? Employees will have to take collective action, right? They'll have to discuss these things without no directions will be there, in the sense no dictation will be there. They have to come up with their own decisions. They suggested that his employees would be more efficient and motivated if their jobs were enriched and that they were empowered to make decisions themselves. Huh? Saliga is saying that while attending the classes, I'm not able to take care of my employees. Even during night, also they're coming up with doubts. They're coming up with guidance. So what shall I do? He's asking this leaders at SCAT in the training program. What these people are suggesting him? Oh, no problem, no problem. Your employees will be more efficient if you let them take their own decisions. It's kind of completely contradicting, right? In the absence of Sully, they're not able to they're not able to take decisions. But the leaders at the training program, they're saying that, let them take their own decisions. It's not 100%, good thing to do. So what they're saying here, um, leaders are saying that employees will be more efficient uh, and empowered to take decisions on own. Okay, in a way, this is correct. But the thing is, the employees doesn't have that experience, right? So I'll have to say, do they have experience? Experience in what? In taking the decisions on their own. They don't have. Suddenly, if you leave them to take decisions on their own, they can't take this. So looks like this management team is trying to come up with something good, but the way they're advocating this is not correct. Some gaps are there in this training program, right? They would have said that maybe, what, you stay with them for some time, you let them take their own decisions, but you closely monitor, you give your inputs. That would have been the case. But simply the leader said training program, they're saying that no, 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 let them take their own decisions, please empower them with the decisions. That's what they're saying. This should not be the case. On his return from the course, Sully called a staff meeting with the contracts office where he announced that from now on, employees would have responsibility for taking control actions themselves rather than referring the problem to him. In one single meeting, he simply settled things. In one simple meeting, he changed the management style. He changed the leadership style in one single meeting. Well, let's see if at all he provided any training for them to how to take these decisions on their own. Sully, in turn, was to focus on gaining more contracts and setting them up. Oh, looks like he's not even giving any inputs to the rest of the employees on how to take decisions. If you're not giving that kind of inputs, you should not leave them on their own, right? So where shall I write this? This management training program is not efficient. Okay, after this implementation has happened, what happened here? One single meeting, no training was given. Maybe that is why the management style was a failure here. However, problems with the new arrangements arise quickly. Obviously, problems will arise. Fearful of making mistakes, unsure about what they were doing, led to employees discussing issues among themselves at length before coming to a tentative decisions. And because of this, what is happening? A lot of time is being involved. Lot of time to make decisions. This is not suitable for them. This is not a good thing. They're taking too much of time. The operational recycling teams were particularly critical of this new approach. Yes, obviously. Why? Because previously they were told what to do, right? They were closely monitoring by this, this office, this contracts office team. Sully was giving work to the contract office team, although he is monitoring the contracts office team, that office team, that administrative team, they are responsible for closely monitoring the a team on field. But this is not happening now. Everybody was given the freedom to take their own decisions. Obviously, team who were working previously on the field, they did not have any experience on taking decisions on their own. Whatever the team was telling them, whatever the contracts office was giving guidance, they were simply following that. So this would be even more difficult for this team who are working at the ground level. One commented that before we got a clear decision very quickly, now decisions can take several days and appear to lack authority. The new approach also caused tensions and stress within the contracts office, and absenteeism increased. Okay. So because of this, what is happening? there are some issues. They're not able to take decisions quickly. So no clear cut decision on what to do. Because of this, people are not able to, people are not willing to come to work, absenteeism. Okay, so a lot of stress is there. And because of this, what could happen? They might simply leave the company. There is this possibility. At the next staff meeting, employees in contracts office asked Sully to return to his old management style and job responsibilities. Okay, we prefer the old Sully. Problems are again referred up to him. However, he is unhappy with the return to the previous way of working, as he feels that this may upset the new company owners. Okay, okay. So the new company owners looks like they are dictating terms here. I mean, dictating in the sense they are advocating that democratic style should be followed. But Sully, he's worrying that if these employees are asking me to come back to autocratic style, the team at the leaders at the management training program, they will be upset. So so let me write it over here. Last thing, what shall I write? They're unhappy. So employees unhappy, asking Sully to come back. But Sully is worried that uh, what is the company name? What is this company name? What is the name of this company that they have acquired? That acquired is SCAT, right? SCAT, worried that SCAT might not like this. Why? Because they were advocating democratic style. Okay, he has a little time for obtaining and planning contracts. Okay. He is also working long hours and is concerned about his health also. Okay. He has problems with his health also. Why? Because he was working long hours. So we can talk about that here. Health issues. On top of this, he realizes that he has a little time for obtaining and planning contracts, and this is severely restricting the capacity of the company to extend in order to integrate activities with other parts of the SCAD group. He just realized that he has less time for obtaining and planning contracts, and this is severely restricting the capacity of the company to expand. So his previous expansion dreams are not fulfilling. Okay. So why? Because things are very lately happening. Decisions were previously taken quickly, but now what is happening? Since you have given this autonomy, direct of taking decisions on their own to the employees, decisions are being made very slow, and because of this, what is happening? A delay in expansion. Okay. SCAT performs a 100-day review. So let me simply identify other aspects as well. SCAT perform a 100-day review of all newly acquired business. This 100-day review examines the impact of the acquisition after the first 100 days of SCOT ownership. A review of ERC has determined that ERC has not yet achieved integration targets that were set as objectives for the first 100 days. Obviously, why? Because decisions are being made very slow. SCAT human resource director is concerned that this may be caused by poor management style employed by Sully, or that perhaps SCAT own internal training program are not as effective. Obviously, they're not effective. Why? Because they're not giving guidance to Sully how to implement this democratic style. They're not giving guidance how to implement this. They just simply said that your employees will be empowered. If you give empowerment, they will be happy. The morale will be increased. Enrichment will be there. They simply define terms, but they did not give them They did not give a Sully what steps to be taken to properly shift from autocratic style to democratic style. Unless and until such clear-cut instructions are given, we can't call this program as effective. She believes that she believes that the management training course promotes the best approach to leadership. That's what she believes. She believes that this is the best approach to leadership. But is this true? Is this really true? Is there only one best approach to leadership? We are not going to consider any the employees behavior or the way employees require them to be monitored or them to be led by somebody else. Are we not going to consider the kind of people we are dealing? We'll simply say there is only one way of leadership, one best way to lead people. That is the case. It looks like this is the biggest blunder she's doing here. So she simply believes that only one way is the best. This democratic style is the best way to lead people. Where is this interview? She believes that the management training course promotes that the best approach to leadership, one that she herself employs across all the SCAT's business unit. Okay, just because she's implementing that approach, she's saying that that would be the best. Maybe the people at SCAT, they are fully qualified people. They want to contribute themselves while taking decisions. But in ARC, they're working on this recycling thing and all. Ground level workers, definitely they won't be having much qualifications. They don't want things to be taken on their own decisions. They simply want somebody to tell something what to do. They will do. That's it. People at the ground level. Okay, understood so far. Let me know if at all any doubts you guys have. So I was not given any name here. So let me simply write here, member of the review team. So let me know if at all any doubts. While reading the question on your own, when I've given time for you to do that, so this is how you have to think. So compare the thinking process, compare the thought process you had previously and with the thought process we had now. You might be wondering, oh my God, this has taken this much time. A simple 15 marks. How many marks this is? Some 18 marks or something like that. Okay, 80 marks question, it has taken this much time on. So are we not losing time here? No, it's not like that. Since this is the first time you guys are attempting this question, it is okay. This is how, oh no, this is how the thought process is going to be. But later on, when you do some other question, which is testing same kind of change in management style or change in leadership style, it won't take this much of time for you to think all of this. It would come naturally for you. Okay. So that is why during the practice stage, it takes a little bit of time. Suggested that employees would be more effective and motivated if the jobs are enriched and they were empowered. They did not consider the kind of people they're dealing with. One single staff meeting. This is also again important. How would the problems with the new arrangements arise quickly? They are fearful of, unsure about what the discussions are happening for lengthy time. Ground level people, especially, one come before things were clear, but now we don't know what to do. And again, they came back. They're saying that we want things to be done like previously, please let us know what to do. All right then. So far, so good, I believe. Let me know if at all you guys did not understand something or you need some even more explanation on some part, or else we'll start to, we'll begin writing the answer. All right then. No doubts, I think. Shall we begin? Let me know.
Yes, sir.
All right then. So, so let's fill up the gaps now. Analysis is being tested. Okay, I have to consider the reasons. I have to consider what kind of impact it will be having. And then what? Let me go through the question one more time. Prepare a briefing report. Okay, that's okay. I have to explain why the change in leadership style was unsuccessful. Okay. All right then. So Sully closely monitor activities because they're lazy, lack initiative, work done properly, autocratic style. So how can I come up with a proper sentence here? I'll say that Sully believes, B-L-I-E, believes that workers in the country are, what did he say? They're naturally lazy, right? That's what he mentioned. Huh? They're naturally lazy. That should not be the case. We can't say everybody is naturally lazy. This is just his belief. So he believes that workers in this country are naturally lazy and they lack uh, initiative. So he needs to direct them. So that is what he is believing. So we'll have to say this is an autocratic style, right? That I have mentioned here. I'll mention that here. This type of leadership approach is called as uh, autocratic style, uh, where the leader will be uh, taking all the decisions and dictating them on employees. Okay, uh, that is fine. Let me say when this autocratic style is suitable. This is best suitable in situations where tasks are repetitive in nature. If tasks are repetitive in nature, then it would be more suitable. Much thinking is not required there. Here also tasks are repetitive, but the problem is the change had happened suddenly. Right? If some training would have been given to them. Okay. 10 years, okay, employees left, okay, because of this autocratic style. 10 years, they got used to one way of the style. Okay, let me talk about this here. So once you're done with writing this, you can simply erase this part. Okay, you can simply erase that part. But let me keep it over there for your reference. Um, 10 years got used to one way of doing this stuff. So I'll say the company was formed 10 years ago. And since then, is there any change in ownership? Such kind of things were not mentioned. Since then, Sully was the person who is leading the company. Okay, since 10 years, he was the one who is leading the company. Okay, the company was formed 10 years ago, and since then, um, the leadership style since then, autocratic style of leadership is being autocratic style of leadership is being followed. Okay, and due to this, some employees left the company as they did not like um, as they did not like close inter interference by Sully in every activity. Okay. Um, However, the uh, the rest of the members stayed with ARC, depend on Sully for instructions. INSTRICTIONS. So what does it mean? It means they want uh, they want guidance. It means they want guidance and clear instructions uh, to be given on what to do. Okay, that is fine over there. And because of this, what happened? Okay, that was the case. Previously, this was the case. Um, at nights, emails, problems with the contracts. Okay. Um, one single, so 10 years of getting used to it, and this is done. This part is done. Employees have left the business. Huh. What else can I write here? Anybody? At nights, emails, problems with contracts, what action to take. They're still asking him. So what guidance? So basically that same point. So I can say that this is evident that even during the training uh, period where Sully was absent in office, the employees were sending mails to him on for advice on how to solve problems. Okay. So it is very unlikely that such employees can take decisions on their own. Uh, it is very unlikely such employees can uh, develop skill to take decisions on their own in short period of time. Okay. So then what happened? After implementing, what happened? Again, once we are done with this, we should, remove this part before submitting the answer. Don't wait until submitting the answer. As and when you're done with certain paragraph, remove these parts. They're just there for your, guidance. They should not be form part of your final answer. Okay, it's not a very problematic. That would be why, because we might lose commercial marks. This is a proper report that is being prepared. This kind of thing should not be there in between. After implementing, what happened? One single meeting, no training was given, a lot of decisions to make. Okay. So what shall I write here? Can anybody help me out here? What can I write here? How shall I frame my first sentence there?
So we can go with after acquisition of the company.
After acquisition by whom? By SCAT. Hmm.
Sally had attended a single meeting.
Sally conducted
Single meeting
one single meeting.
where there was no training was given.
Okay, so Sally conducted one single meeting and made and announced to the rest of the team that they will be responsible to take DCI decisions on their own. Decisions on their own. However, there is no training given to them on how to take effective decisions. DCISIONS. This is especially critical. We have to say why training is required. This is especially important because since so long, employees were relying on Sully.
Next, we can add like this caused a lot of
Due to this, due to this, what happened? Um, due to this, what happened?
due to this, there were lack of decision making.
Delays in decision making. So, um,
Employees were not able to take any decisions on their own.
okay. So due to this, employees were not able to take quick decisions, which caused this delay in decision making. This delay in decision making, um, what it has caused? Worried, scattered mind, health issues, leaders, motivation, autocratics. Somewhere I've mentioned that this delay in decision making
Reduce the operation efficiency and
Ah,
morale.
exactly. This delay in decision making reduced the operational uh, efficiency, EFFICINCY, and delayed the integration with activities in activities at SCAT. Okay, this is the issue. At the same time, later on, what happened? Due to this, employees were not able to take decisions. Um, what else can we write? So there is no clear-cut decisions on what to do. Delay and expansion. Okay, I've mentioned that. Um, so let me say they do not have any experience, right? Before this continuation point for that, let me say in ARC, employees. Okay, let me do something like this. Let me cut that over there and provide an explanation with it. This is especially important because since so long employees were relying on Sully, uh, I would say, okay, this is especially important because since so long employees in ARC were relying on Sully. They have no experience. They have no experience. They have no experience in taking decisions on their own. Here, democratic style won't be suitable. Perhaps more step-by-step approach, uh, step-by-step approach on shifting towards democratic democratic style. Perhaps a more step-by-step approach on shifting towards democratic style would be suitable. Okay, so we are saying that suddenly don't do that. Maybe a step-by-step approach you can go for here. And what else can we write here? No clear-cut decisions on what to do. Because of this, employees are absent stress. So this step-by-step approach I've mentioned, no? So let me include that part. Control X. Let me write it down here. Control V. So this approach, why this was unsuccessful, right? So ultimately we have to tell why the style, this new autocratic style was unsuccessful. So let me add that conclusion somewhere over there. After acquisition cards conducted one single meeting and the rest of the team, they will be responsible to take decisions on their own. Okay, there is no training due to these employees were not able to take quick decisions in the at the same time, I'll mention uh, the above mentioned reasons have contributed towards the failure of the new leadership style. This is furthermore, it is evident, EVIDEN, it is evident because it is evident because this has led more stress to the employees and resulted in absenteeism. Okay, understood that part. So how many points? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 points I have come up with over there. All right then. This relates to this paragraph. Again, once we are done with forming our paragraph, we should remove this. Okay. All right then. That part is good enough. What else shall we write here? So looks like that is enough over there. I've explained why it is a failure. Change in leadership style at ARC, why it is a failure. SCAT management training program, we are asked about two things, right? Where is this? And successful, and whether this reflects a poor approach to SCAT's management training program. So if there are any inefficiencies in the management training program, maybe that has led to a failure of this failure of this change. Okay. Now, so what shall I write here? Advocating democratic style. Advocating democratic style. What about the nature of employees? Okay, so leaders empowered and employees are unhappy and asking seller to come back. Okay, so advocating democratic style. At the same time, this HR director, she is thinking that a democratic style is the best approach, right? She believes that management training course promotes the best approach to leadership. Okay. um, SCAT's training program promotes democratic style of leadership. Only promotes, let's say, program only promotes democratic style of leadership. It is okay. It means that the HR believes that only democratic style of leadership is the best way to lead the company. This may be because she has been uh, following the style at SCAT. This may be suitable, or this may be suitable because okay, this may be because, what shall I put the word? Uh, okay, she believes this because she she believes as such because she has been following the style at SCAT, and okay, she is following this style at SCAT, where employees uh, expect to be part of decision making. However, while advocating this management style, HR director did not consider the nature of employees working at what is the company's name? ARC, right? Um, the employees wanted to give clear instructions, whereas the leaders at the program wanted Sully to empower the uh, you know empower the team at ARC by giving decision making power. Okay, by giving decision making power. So the reason for their belief could be that once employees are empowered, they would uh, empowered. This would improve the employee morale, uh, resulting into better job satisfaction. Job satisfaction, thereby contributing to the success of uh, uh, integration. Okay, integration. The reason for their belief could be that once employees are empowered, this would improve the employee morale, resulting into better job satisfaction, thereby contributing to the success of uh, uh, integrated company. Um, Perhaps this would hold valid in SCAT, this would hold valid in SCAT as the employees got used to democratic style, but not the employees at ARC. Okay. So in ARC, what is going on? They got used to getting the inputs, right? So what can we say here? Uh, the training program. So is there any evidence on the training program giving instructions to Sully on how to bring in this change from sudden autocratic to democratic? No such kind of information was given. This is a sudden change. So I'll say this is the failure of the training program. So I'll say there is no evidence, EVIDNC. So there is no evidence that Sully got guidance, GUI, in the training program on how to enable successful change from autocratic style to democratic style. And this is evident from the fact that he simply announced the change in style with a single meeting. Okay, with a single meeting. In ARC, since employees have no previous expertise on taking decisions on own, training program should have come up with a plan to implement change through a step-by-step process over a period of time. Okay. So at the same time, employees are unhappy and are asking him to come back, right? So what can we write here? What else can we write? What else can we, what else can we recommend for this management training program? So they're unhappy, right? So how to make them happy? Maybe you give some training to those employees. Maybe Sully should be present while taking some decisions, at least in the beginning. So if at all they have any doubt, they can ask him. So he should monitor the decision making of the people rather than he, solely assuming himself the responsibility to get the contracts. He should be present here. So I'll say that here. The program should have included training to Sully on how to make this shift. Okay, this could include this could include training course for this could include demonstration of a course where employees were given situations, some theoretical situations, and are asked to take decisions in the presence of Sully, so that he can give, um, so that he can monitor and give advice in the beginning. Slowly, the employees will understand how to take decisions on their own, rather than com- MPE completely relying on Sully like now. This would reduce the stress on employees, as well as the negative effects on the health of Sully. Later on, employees may approach Sully for some final decisions or for a review, rather than complete reliance. Okay, this looks nice. So far, we have come up with a good enough points here. 14 marks, so 7 over there and 7 over there. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this looks nice. We have mentioned in this part how management training program was at fault, because it is a poor approach of the management training program here, right? This is a poor approach. They did not give any training to Sully. They did not give any information to Sully, how to shift from this management style to another style. People cannot change their attitudes all of a sudden. We are dealing with people here. These are not machines. So, understood so far? Any doubts? And again, I'm repeating, at last you have to remove these hints you have written over here. Okay, you have to remove these parts. So now we'll simply finish the introduction. What we'll say? I'll say this report begins with, what is the question? Prepare with an explanation, XPLANATIY. Explanation. This report begins with an explanation of this report begins with an explanation on reasons behind the failures, reason behind the failure of new leadership style at ARC. Okay, it will begin with that, and then what it will do, and later on it says, it talks about this reflects, later on it talks about whether it's a poor reflection of approach management training program. Finally, it analyzes, the effectiveness of, no, not the effectiveness of the training program. Finally, it analyzes the approach taken by SCAT's management training program and its influence on failure of the new leadership style. Okay, it analyzes the approach taken by SCAT's management training program and its influence on failure of the new leadership style. That's it. Enough. Small introduction. Okay. Understood so far?
Yes, sir.